A very good afternoon to you. You're watching us on TV1. This is Lunchtime News. Before we head into the stories in detail, here's a look at the headlines for this afternoon. Court issues notices to 8 persons, including former Defence Secretary Gotabaya Rajapaksa. Former Secretary to the Ministry of Finance P.B. Jasundar appears before the police FCID. Colombo Defence Seminar commences. And on international news, arrest warrant issued on former Maldivian President Mohamed Nasheed. Now to those stories in detail. 8 persons, including former Defence Secretary Gotabaya Rajapaksa, were issued notices by Colombo Chief Magistrate Gihan Pilapitia today.
The notices were issued for the suspects to appear in court on the 30th of September over the case filed yesterday by the Commission to investigate allegations of bribery or corruption regarding transactions surrounding Avantgarde. Presenting their case to courts yesterday, the Bribery Commission said the transactions have caused a loss of 11.4 billion rupees to the country. Cases were filed against the former Defence Secretary, Chairman of the Avantgarde Nisanka Senadipati, and former Additional Secretary at the Ministry of Defence, Damayanti Jayaratna. The Bribery Commission also filed cases against 3 former Navy commanders, namely Admiral Somatilaka Disanayaka, retired Admiral Jayanath Kalambage and Admiral Jayanta Pereira. Moreover, cases were also filed against the former CEO of Rakna Arakshaka Lanka Limited, Major General K.B. Egodavela, and its former chairman, Major General Palita Fernando.
Meanwhile, former President Mahinda Rajapaksa left for Malaysia early this morning aboard a UF318 Sri Lankan Airlines flight. Meanwhile, the former president attended a public meeting in the Kurunegala area yesterday.
All of us are being taken before court. I saw that even Gotabaya Rajapaksa is being taken to court, alleging that he has caused a loss to the country. If that is the case, they should first try this person at the central bank called Arjuna Mahendran for causing a loss of millions of rupees for the next 35 years to the government. He is the first person who should be taken to court. Following the end of the war, when the weapons were just lying around to rust, we gave authorization to use that to bring an income to the country in dollars as a service to the country. But today, Gotabaya is being targeted. We see a system where one after the other is being attacked. This shows that the government is bankrupt.
A program to create awareness on exportable goods was held in North India yesterday under the auspices of Minister of Primary Industries, Daya Gamage. A group including Deputy Minister of Petroleum Resources Development Anoma Gamage and Putlam District Parliamentarian Ashoka Priyantha were present at the event.
We have to slowly pay off the loans the Rajapaksas took. We have to pay those debts and remove the burden of our children and also our unborn children. We do not care if you come in red, blue or green. We are ready to help anyone and everyone. When the elections come into play, we can go on carrying out our activities wearing the green color hat. Those in blue can wear the blue hat and carry out their activities. But I don't know about the ones in red. They always say anything we do is wrong. They too can join us and help develop this country.
Minister of Irrigation and Water Resource Management Vijit Vijayamuni Soiza laid the foundation stone to build tanks in Hulandua, Munragala. The tank, which will be built under the Valasa Navodaya project of the Department of Irrigation, aims to collect rainwater.
We ensure that former President Mahinda Rajapaksa won the Monaragala district with a majority of 750,000 votes. This was done to rescue the voters. Former President Mahinda Rajapaksa went to Carlton. Basil went abroad. Just imagine, if a couple starts to fight, go to courts and gets a divorce, would the father come into the daughter's wedding and make a ruckus? No, they will sit on either side and bless their daughter as if they weren't divorced at all. The President promised to give everyone nominations, and the Executive President assured that he will use his power to ensure their victory. And then the others said they will contest separately and that a separate party will be formed. Why was that move made? That is to vest all the powers with the United National Party.
කිසිම දෙයක් නෙවෙයි එක්සත් ජාතික පක්ෂයට තනිකර gediya pitin බලය දෙන්න.
Chief Minister of the Central Province Sarath Ekanayak expressed the following views at a media briefing held in Kandy yesterday.
It is important that we embark on a journey that goes beyond the usual political norm. Some are now under the impression that when they contested separately at the previous parliamentary election, that the former president's team were victorious and the others had lost. I believe that those who contest elections with such a mindset will have to face a much larger challenge at an election, because these are persons who do not have the faith among themselves. It is not the 4 or 5 people who are saying that they won't come for the conventions who are among this, but there are, however, persons who are attending the convention regardless of the obstacles, and from what we have got to know, there are attempts to cause obstructions, but we say that we will overcome all of these obstacles. We are currently facing a challenge as to how much of a crowd we can accommodate at the grounds in Kurunegala, where the convention is set to take place.
අපේ කොයිසරන් සෙනගක් ඇතුල් කරන්න පුළුවන් වේද කියන අභියෝගයටත් අපි මේ වෙනකොට මුහුණ දෙනවා.
As it was mentioned on the headlines this afternoon, former Secretary to the Ministry of Finance Dr. P.B. Sundara appeared before the Police Financial Crimes Investigation Division today. Our correspondent said that Dr. Sundara is currently being questioned by FCID officials. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe departed to Singapore on an official visit. The Prime Minister boarded the SQ469 flight bound to Singapore. A 5-member delegation accompanied the Prime Minister, who is scheduled to participate in the Indian Ocean Conference 2016. The conference will see the participation of countries of the Indian Ocean. Premier Wickremesinghe will be making the inaugural address of the conference. An awards ceremony was held yesterday to mark 84 years of the Sri Lanka Federation of University Women. The event was graced by Minister of Special Assignments Dr. Sarath Amunugama.
84 scholarships were granted to the less privileged undergraduates.
There is a large demand for female representation both inside and outside Parliament. We have now decided to allocate 25% of seats for women in Pradesh Sabhas up to Parliament. So after an election, according to the percentage of votes, the party secretaries will be informed to submit a list of women to represent these institutions. This is much more beneficial for women. The men will have to contest, attend various meetings and even exchange fists. So we intend to create a female representation of 25% within Parliament without them having to go through all of this. This will bring about a good change where we will be able to create a humane and controlled outset.
වඩාත් මානුෂික ගති ඇති පාලන තන්ත්‍රයක් අපිට ඇති කරගන්න පුළුවන්.
The Colombo Defence Seminar commenced at the Bandar Naika Memorial International Conference Hall this morning. This year's seminar is being held under the theme Soft Power and its Influence on Global Issues. The ceremony will be conducted as a 2-day seminar today and tomorrow to provide a platform to identify and discuss means of achieving foreign policy goals without using coercion in the global affairs. The seminar, since its initiation in 2011, has transformed into an internationally accepted roundtable for interaction on matters pertaining to national, regional and international security. Meanwhile, the 66th anniversary of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka was held yesterday.
All reforms, including financial reforms, have their underpinning in the value system that prevails. We think of reforms very much in technical terms, but the goal of reform is to strengthen the sustainability of whatever that's being done, to increase efficiency and to strengthen governance. I think all these need to be achieved with reform. But the wider goal of reform is for the common man to have a better life.
The fact that globalization places a very high premium on competitiveness. And the financial sector is the lifeblood of the economy. As such, it is therefore a critical determinant of the competitiveness of an economy. This places a great deal of onus, great deal of responsibility on financial institutions to improve intermediation, to make it more efficient, so that it contributes to improving the overall competitiveness of the economy.
Construction work on yet another project under the government, the 100 Days Initiative, commenced today. The project will provide sanitary facilities to Kusumpura Bodhi Malu Viharaya in Nochiagama.
The Kusumpura Bodhi Malu Viharaya, which has been under construction for nearly 4 years, is situated in a village which has no infrastructure facilities. The key issue at the temple is the absence of sanitary facilities. The issue mainly aggravates during Poya days, when devotees arrived at the temple to take part in religious observances.
Well, that brings us to the end of lunchtime news for this afternoon. Remember to stay ahead. You need to stay close to News First. For that, you simply need to log on to our website www.Newsfirst.lk. I'm Stephanie Lazarus, your latest news update. We come your way at 1:55. Take care.